Okay, it's day 4 that I've used these rods and reels and so on and so forth down the pond. It's evening, it's a little breezy, it's supposed to rain tonight. I'm not going to do a lot of fishing tonight. I almost caught a big one out there, and I'm going to go for it only and not spend a lot of time with different rods and reels. But what I want to try to do is do a summary of what I've seen so far and kind of keep it quick and see whether or not that's of interest to my fishing audience. Now the wind's a little breezy. I don't know how it's going to turn up on the camera. Maybe I'll take the camera and put it to this side and see how that works. But here goes. First, the lures that have caught fish so far this year at the pond are the ones you see right here in front of you. This I got at that bait shop in Ithaca, the one that's on West State Street, and the guy in there was going crazy, and I bought one of these and caught a fish pretty quickly. Tried and true Rapala, caught a couple of fish on that already. Surprise, surprise, my $1 special, I think I had gotten this from Wal-Mart, and I've already caught 2 really nice sized bass on this lure right here. And interestingly enough, a lot of the standard spinners have not. This one here seems to be fairly unique for some reason. I don't know why. It's the one I'm going to use tonight. Another bargain bin purchase from Walmart. I'm not even sure I know what the brand name is. I think I have another one in there. But this darn thing catches fish. So many fish that I cut the one shank off the hook because I wanted to get it easier. I wanted to make it easier to get it out of my fish because they bite it whole. I mean, they just swallow that thing. Very, very successful this year and last year. And then my tried and true Blue Fox number 2s and 3s. Again, very, very successful, so I actually just cut one shank off because I catch and release, and I also push the barbs down. I've caught so many fish with this darn lure. It's that one that just throw it out there in this pond and they bite it. It's not even fair. So same here, caught a lot of fish in this one so far. And also the Panther Martin yellow, not the other colors, just the yellow. For some reason they like the yellow lures. So, all right. Rods and reels. My first video, I pretty much articulated what this Daiwa Sweepfire is. You know, it's an entry-level reel from Daiwa. And this is the Sweepfire 4000 2B I got from Dick's Sporting, along with the Sweepfire rod, which is a fiberglass rod. This is an entry-level rod and reel purchase. You know, it's their lower end for Daiwa. They make a lot of good stuff. You got to pay for it. 2 ball bearings, plastic, a lot of plastic. The handle, though, seems to be of a die-cast type nature. Die-cast material. Aluminum spool, nice colored, anodized. The action of this reel is actually quite nice. The effort it takes to trip the bail is not very much. It's very nice, it's very crisp. And when I open the bail and I want to cast and control the line by using my finger, if I want to stop the line, the ergonomics is very nice. And I've run this reel now for several hours, and I really enjoy this rig. I don't really care what the price point is. I find myself thinking about fishing and not about the gear when I run an outfit such as this. To me, the success of an outfit is just that. If I'm thinking about the fishing and not about a problem that it's presenting. And this one has presented no problems, and it runs nice enough and smooth enough, casts well enough that I just enjoy fishing. This is a good deal. I got it for 20 bucks. I told you about that in a prior video. Now, I made one change since you saw it last. I first had put on this Tri-Line or Trilene Extra Tough 12. I don't like it at all, and so I took that off and put on the Trilene Extra Smooth Casting 10, and that made a huge difference on this outfit. It made it a lot more pleasant to use and a lot easier to cast. But the Sweepfire Daiwa is a very, very good choice for an entry-level rod and reel, whether it's an experienced guy who just wants something in the truck, or it's the first rod and reel outfit for a kid. And a theory of mine, I say this with the chainsaws, is if you want someone to be interested in fishing, don't get them junk. Make sure you get them something that works well, because there's nothing more frustrating than a cheap rod and reel that doesn't work well. And that could take a person who might be interested in fishing and turn them off before they even get a chance. This Daiwa outfit falls into the category of a functional, low-cost rod and reel outfit that I would definitely recommend. I've enjoyed the heck out of it. And I've fished all my life. You know, once I got the right line, you know, instead of the heavier stuff, I've had a lot of fun. Very, very effective rig. Certainly worth the $20 I have into it. I think it's worth the regular price, which would be almost $30. You know, actually $35 when you put it in line. I recommend this. I've had a lot of fun with it. Daiwa for me is 2 for 2. This D-Shock rig that I bought also has performed quite well. It's also a 2-ball bearing design, and it's you know, it's of the same basic price point and quality level as a Sweepfire. For that matter, I suspect that they are pretty much the same design reel. That one happens to be a little smaller. It's a 2500, but just like with the Sweepfire, that D-Shock has just performed beautifully. Again, it's one that I would recommend as an entry-level rod and reel, or even the one for an experienced guy who's not as interested in gear, just wants to go fishing. It's smooth enough. Yeah, there's some hitches in both their little get-alongs. Yeah, you feel the oscillation, you know, of the spool. There's a little bit of roughness in there. I mean, if you're a gear guy, if you're fishing and gear is really, really important to you, the feel of it, neither one of these rods are what you want. You want to spend the money. But if you're a fishing guy and you don't care so much about what the reel feels like, or if you, like me, fished when things like the Berkley die-cast reels and the Mitchells and the die-cast Daiwas were really good and smooth, these things are phenomenal. They're so much better than what I had as a kid. Smoother, the casting works better, the spool works better. It puts the line back on the spool better. Both these do. They do a nice job. Just very nicely designed systems. And I got this one for $26, and I had to put line on it. So it's a $30 rig, regular price. I put the Stren 6-pound test on this D-Shock 2500 2B. Again, it's a 2-ball bearing design. Again, it's pretty much the same layout and the same basic design characteristics as the Sweepfire. They look remarkably alike. Probably the same design reel with different colors, be my guess. Net is both those Daiwa rigs are excellent for the money. Both of them I can recommend for either a first-time outfit because they work well and they seem to function well over time, at least the 4 days I've put on them. And, you know, again, as I said before, if you have an outfit that doesn't work well, it'll turn a person off who might be a budding fisher person. I'll definitely recommend that D-Shock as well if you can find one. This is a different brand. I found this at Wal-Mart. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Matzuo? And they're trying to do the same kind of thing. They're trying to put a lot of value into a low price. Another 2-ball bearing reel. To me, 2-ball bearings is about the limit in terms of how low in the price range I want to go. And also, I want the manufacturer to brag about the fact they in fact have 2-ball bearings. This actually works pretty well as too. The only problem I have with this system is when I first got it, the line that came with it was like horsehair. It was terrible. Got it for $19. Got rid of the line that came with it and put on some Stren 6-pound. It works well, although I like the Daiwa outfits better. I can't really tell you why. They're roughly the same kind of smoothness. They both have 2-ball bearings. I like the larger diameter roller on the bail on this particular reel. They sacrificed a little bit in look and feel with these plastic parts. They didn't have the same coloration as the Daiwa does, so it doesn't look quite as slick as the Daiwa, but it works well enough. The rod is the same level of technology. It's a fiberglass rod. It's a match. It's just I happen to like the Daiwas better. It's not that they're functionally better. It's a subjective, not an objective decision on my part. And as I said in one of my earlier videos, it might simply be because I grew up using Daiwas. And I liked them then and I like them now. Simple as that. So it was funny when I was in there looking around for my what do you get for $25 rigs, I gravitated to Shimano's and Daiwas and forced myself to get this Matzuo just to have something that wasn't, you know, in my comfort zone. It's turned out to be a good, I can't not recommend this outfit to this point in time. I'm going to do full reviews on these. I just want this to be a quick update. But I still gravitated towards these, and I'm glad I did. I forced myself not to go with the Shimano's. I've used Shimano's for a long time. I started with Daiwas. Shimano's lured me away back in the 90s, and now I'm back to Daiwas. What can I say? Last but not least, update on this Okuma brand reel. It's smooth. It's smooth right out. It's a nice rig. I have an issue with it, and I don't know if it has to do with me or it. When I open the bail to cast, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's how I'm doing it. The time I finish casting, that bail has come over here and blocks my finger, so I can't get my finger to the spool. I don't know why that is. Other than that little hitch, after a few days of use, it's smooth right out. It casts beautifully. My first complaint about how much effort it took to close the bail, well, it's not as much now as it was before. It seems to be breaking in some. It has a lot of features for the $30. 7-ball bearings, all kinds of good stuff. Interesting thing is, you know, it goes to the point of my videos, I found myself gravitating towards this bigger Daiwa over all the other options when I just went fishing with no video intent, just to go grab a rod and go fishing. Even over my high dollar systems, I went for this one. And I don't know why, but I did. And I can tell you what I like about it. I mean, I've already told you I like the ergonomics. But it also has one other thing that I like about it for this pond. And I mentioned this in one of my other videos. The larger diameter spool with the same basic gear ratio as the other reels means that the retrieval rate's much, much faster, because for every revolution of the bail, it takes up a more distance of line. And that may be it, but when I run this system, I can keep my spinners out of the weeds. It has not failed me yet. I've not had to tangle the spool, nothing. I've had no problems whatsoever. And I'm finding myself gravitating to this $20 rig that I bought at Dick's Sports a week ago over my Penn, over my Shimano, over all these other rods. Go figure. So anyway, that's the update. I'm going to make that a 15-minute or less video and see how that plays. And hopefully this is information of use, because who I'm talking to is, again, either an old fellow like me who just wants to get back into it, doesn't want to spend a lot of money until I decide if that's what I really want to do as a hobby again. These two outfits are perfect for that. And also the parent who is trying to get kids interested and wants to have high enough quality where they don't fail and give problems, but low enough price where they haven't made this major investment on their kids if they decide they don't want to go fishing. Both those Daiwa outfits are absolutely perfect for that. And last but not least, if you're planning a vacation and you need some accessories and part of the vacation is doing fishing. Again, it may not be the main event for some of the people there, so you don't want to put lots and lots of money into the props that are fishing props, but they're something of use, and you want them to be good enough quality that when they're asked to be used, they work perfectly. Those two Daiwa rods, that Sweepfire combo and that D-Shock combo, are perfect for that scenario as well. Anyway, I'm going to go fishing. Done enough talking. If there's anything of interest, I might fold it in. If not, this is just going to be a talking video, and you're going to have to go back to my other videos to see fish being actually caught with these rigs. And again, this pile of lures right here, Panther Martin, these two Blue Fox Vibrix, this, which I have no idea what the brand name is, the Rapala, and this one, and this is also a no brand name lure. These have all been quite successful for me down the pond. My guess is those spinners are going to be successful pretty much anywhere, you know. But anyway, look at the sun. It's beginning to go down. I got probably a half an hour to go try to get that big fish that eluded me yesterday. Now, if I catch that, there's going to be an addendum to this video. If not, talk to you later. Bye for now. I'm going to do full reviews on these outfits at some time in the future. Okay, I'm going to run this lure for a couple of casts with the Matzuo. This rod and reel combination, the Matzuo. $19, although it's actually $25 because I ditched the stock line and put some 6-pound string on it and turned it into a completely different rig. Talk a little bit. Yeah, it casts beautifully now. My premise on these fishing videos is rod and reel combinations of this level of quality will catch plenty of fish if you have the right line and the right lure combination. This rod and reel worked just fine. Wouldn't be my first choice. I still think I like my Daiwas better. I'm afraid I'm a little bit biased because of the Daiwa experience I've had in the past. I really am. So I don't know if I'm being fair to this Matzuo. It runs, you know, roughly the same level of functionality, smoothness, cast like crazy. Wow, it's a good casting rig. Tell you what, for $19, it's not a bad deal. I can say that. So if I was just evaluating it all by itself, I'd say, you know, this is perfectly good for, you know, a beginning rig for somebody. Well, maybe I should just do a quick review on the Matzuo all by itself. And let me tell you what I like about it. It's very lightweight. It has a light feel in my hand. It has a fast enough retrieval rate. It's smooth enough. It's roughly at the same level of feel as those Daiwas. The ergonomics on the reel are fine to where I can get my finger on the spool when I want to cast and stop the line. The feel of the rod is not bad for what it is, fiberglass. One thing I do like is the shape of the handle right there. It doesn't bother my finger. And that's something that actually makes a difference to me on a long day. And I'm not sure I'd choose it over a Daiwa just yet. But I think what I can say is I would not shy away from this particular brand and this particular outfit because it has a lot of features for the money. Again, $19. I would throw the line away immediately, so it's actually $19 plus line plus lures to get you fishing. But from the couple of days I have on it and the time I have it on it right now, once I got rid of the line that came with it, That stuff was terrible. And put some decent line on this rod and reel. Casts beautifully. It really does. It's actually quite a nice outfit. So I will go as far as saying I like it. And I have enough time on it to know that I'm not getting tangles. I also noticed that on the retrieval, the spool gets the line, it comes on nice and smooth and nice and straight. So they've got the spool and the bail and all that worked out, the oscillation worked out to where it's pretty nice. Yeah, I think this one needs its own review. That thing cast. Jeez. I didn't even fill it up as much as it needed. It needed another probably 50 yards. It was just all I had, and I was just wanting to try something different because the line that came with it was giving it such a bad feel. It wasn't really fair to the rod and reel combination. So just upgrading that line has just absolutely changed the feel of this rig. Matzuo, $19 from Walmart. Works quite well. I've had no failures. It's smooth enough. I think the downsides of it are it's more looks and cosmetics than anything else. Functions fine. So for the money, yeah, I can recommend it. I'll do a review on it at the end of the summer when I've got real time on them. But as a first impression, I wouldn't shy away from this rig at all. So, I think I better go change the lure. So this is an addendum to the update. If I was to pick a rod and reel combination from that group, and I had just to pick one, I couldn't have multiples, I'd pick this one right here. And this is the Daiwa Sweepfire 4000 2B. 2 ball bearings, nice handle, you know, the bail works well, it snaps shut positively, crisply, looks nicer with the anodized aluminum. And there's a couple of things about this reel that just simply work for me. You gotta understand, I came from a time when fiberglass like this was high tech. This is just fine. The retrieval rate on this is really fast because of the diameter of the spool and the gear ratio. It casts well enough. I have yet to have any kind of a tangle on this reel, on this rod. I got rid of the 12-pound test I put on there and put a 10-pound test on it. That combination is just very, very versatile, proving to be reliable, and I like it. Simple as that. So, anyway, talk to you later. This is my choice. On that note, I think I'm going to shut the camera off and just go fishing. I'm going to try this lure right here. That's one of those Matzuos. Oh, using the Okuma. Started opening up the bail on the Okuma just to slide in a different spot. Solved my problem of the bail getting in the way of my fingers. Boy, if you look at the other side of the pond, there's all kinds of activity going on. But I'm here, and there are there. Oh, I have a fish. Little one. Fish just the same. So we caught a fish. And it took the Rapala to do it. Little fish, the fish is the same. So, see, this is what I enjoy. I enjoy this a lot more than just the equipment. And, you know, I want the equipment to work, but to be perfectly honest with you, when I'm in this mode right here, unless the equipment's giving me a problem, I don't notice it. I'm focused on the activity, my lure, you know. And to me, the definition of a good fishing outfit is one that doesn't disturb that focus. And I don't care if it's $300 or $30. If it doesn't get in the way of me fishing, that's a good rig. And those Daiwas, and they do that. This one gets in the way of me fishing because of that bail thing. So I figure that out. This one here bothers me a little bit, so it's not my favorite. Ooh, see that? I don't know if it'll do it, but oh. See, I want to put my finger down, and that bail just gets right in there. See, now the rig is in the way of me fishing, so I don't like it. Just that simple. I don't have any of those problems with those Daiwas, or even that Matzuo, but I do with this Okuma. It's little crap like that's the difference between liking and not liking. It doesn't matter what the specs are. I don't know if it's going to pick those up or not. So it's not so much about the specifications to me, it's whether or not either allows me to fish and focus on fishing, or it gives me little issues to think about that get in the way of my focus on fishing. And if you're into gear, you know, it's as much bling as it is quality. And if you're a pro fisher, of course, you want one that lasts a very, very, very long time. Me, I'm happy if it works and lets me fish and not think about little problems like this freaking bail getting underneath my finger. So I don't like this Okuma right now. It works, it's a smooth, it's got all the right specs and all that, but I don't like it. See, it did it again. See how that? And I want to stop it with my finger and I can't. In conclusion, well, I don't know if it's a conclusion because we're going to do a lot more fishing. And as I learn more about these 4 rigs, you know, I might change my opinion. But right now, the Daiwas have definitely come to the top. They really have. Because they have nothing that they do that interferes with my fishing. And they do a lot of things that help my fishing. Daiwa has made fishing gear for a very long time and obviously know what they're doing. For $30, because that's what it's going to cost to replicate it, I'd pick both those Daiwas over the other 2. Although I can't tell you that the Matzuo is any worse. It just doesn't look quite as nice. That's really it. It's subjective, not objective. And the Okuma, even though it has a lot better spec, it's more expensive. I haven't come to terms with it, and it's probably me, not the reel, but it doesn't matter. The bottom line is it gives me trouble. I don't get along with that reel, so I don't like it. It's smooth and nice and features and all that crap. I'd pick those 2 Daiwas any day of the week. Now this is an update, it's not the review. It's just how I feel right now at this point in time. The review is going to happen at the end of the summer, and then we're going to have a track record, a lot of fishing time on them, and we'll see if they're reliable, and I'll document if I have problems and failures, and I may have a completely different opinion, you know, into the summer. But right now, the Daiwas are definitely my choice. I would recommend them, you know, to this point. They work quite well, and they're certainly worth the money. Talk to you later. Bye for now.